The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's going on, everybody? It's October. It's the week of October 1st, 2018. My name is Taylor Cooper. This might be sports. Kevin Reevy's back. What up, Kevin Reevy?
In college, I like to drink beer.
CJ's here with us. What up, CJ?
Oh, man.
It's going to be that kind of show. So, welcome back, Kevin Reevy. Where have you been? My abysmal solo show last week. It was bad.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually with CJ. We were at a charity event thing for Devin Still, his charity foundation, what is it called? I should have this. We should know this.
I know. I've done
So
this
funny. So
Is it
CJ,
just
I
the
called
Still
you.
Foundation?
I literally called you that night to fill in because co-host Kev couldn't make it. So I was like, shit, CJ. And then you pick up and you were like, I'm somewhere. And I was like, it sounds like crazy. He's not making it.
Oh, I was at a charity event. Still Strong Foundation.
Still Strong Foundation. So yeah,
Kevin overpaid for wine.
yeah, this all comes full circle, but and we'll get on to this subject as well, but my last book, Incredible Baseball Stats, co-written by Ryan Spader, the Incredible Stats Mind. You can find him on Twitter at the Ace of Spader. Me and him, our like mentor in this whole thing is Glenn Macnow, who's a Philadelphia radio guy, author extraordinaire,
Icon.
Partial bar owner.
He's everything I want to be and more.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was running this thing, and whenever I get an email from Glenn, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm in the in crowd. So I try to do all those things. So we went to that. It was really cool. It was on a Tuesday, and we got really drunk, and I bid on a bottle of wine. I bid $150 on a bottle of wine.
No. You bid $100 and then you outbid yourself at $150 and Glenn called him out on it, but still charged him $150 for the wine.
And that's what sucks is if the guy running the auction wasn't Glenn, if it wasn't someone I knew, then they just would have taken the $100 bet and said, no, you don't want to outbid yourself. But the reason why I did so, I wanted to be active with the stuff. I mean, they auctioned off Bernie Perrant, actually not game-worn jersey, but Devin Still event-worn jersey. He wore it that day.
They put it on him as soon as he entered the door.
Signed it. And then 4 suite tickets. I think it was like the owner's suite, like something ridiculous, like really nice seats. Those went for like $5,000. And I put in the early $500 bid, kind of knowing that maybe I wasn't going to win this, but get things rolling.
Sure.
But then the wine thing, I'm like, all right, I could win this. So I put in the first bet, $100. He shows these 2 bottles of wine. I think, and I have a few beers in me at this point, I think I'm bidding on these 2 bottles of wine. And then I see somebody else's hand goes up and he takes the bid. I'm assuming I'm outbid.
Right.
So I put my hand up again and he says, why are you outbidding yourself? Now you're $150.
And accepts the
because
bid.
it was for each bottle of wine. I didn't know that though.
Okay.
So he's looking for 2 bidders and keep it going.
But so here's why I didn't get screwed. I was still willing to pay the $150, but it kind of is a kick in the ass when it's like, I could have gotten it for $100. But again, for charity, it's cool. It was a Dick Vermeil. He's got a winery, so we hit one of his bottles of wine signed by Dick Vermeil, the former Eagles, Rams, and Chiefs coach. It was cool. It was neat.
That's awesome.
So that's where I was last week. And then, so I mean, I parlays nicely into the next story. Me and Spader trip to Baltimore, and there was a lot of drinking involved there as well. It was, I mean, I don't want to call it a shit show, but I mean, nobody got hurt. So it went well. Saw some Astros games. We got a lot of friends with the Astros. Jeff Blum, their color analyst, great guy.
Yeah.
Just the best. He is the coolest to just sit down with, have beers, talk baseball. He's got great stories. We were invited by Lance McCullers, a pitcher for the Astros. He got us seats, and it's great to go during like fan appreciation week when it's the last week of the season because you get a bunch of free shit.
Yeah.
So I got some Orioles coasters.
Nice.
I would have gotten an Orioles vest, but there was a situation involving someone in our party that got too drunk, and it forced me to handle the situation, and I had to leave my vest at the bar.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, that stinks.
How many people were at that game? Since what are they?
Orioles vest. It was like half full. Now,
Oh, wow.
Camden Yards is great.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't expect it to be as great as it is. When you see it on TV, it kind of looks a little simple. Like from like a field standpoint, it doesn't have maybe all the bells and whistles that PNC Park or Citizens Bank Park. PNC has a lot going on with the water outside and like the crazy views. The bridge, Citizens Bank, it's got the bell in the outfield, that crazy ivy wall. Camden's a little simple if you just look at it from the field, like from an overhead perspective. But man, it's the coolest.
Yeah.
It's got a nice perimeter, kind of reminiscent of Fenway, and it's got a real feel like it's connected to the city. I love ballparks that have that feel. That was cool. Yeah, it was awesome. Watched a few games. McCullers pitched. He just came back from being hurt. Looked sharp. That was cool. Talking to him, I mean, he's such a focused, great dude. Really on top of his game. He just can't seem to stay healthy for a long period of time. But once he does, look out. This dude has it all in his repertoire. So, I mean, yeah, it was just cool hanging out with ball players, doing that whole thing. And Baltimore, great town, as CJ can attest.
Oh, I love Baltimore.
What's the top three from Baltimore, from homebred Baltimoreans? Is that how they're named?
Possibly.
Because Novak wants to be number one. Where's he on the list? Is he top 5?
See, I can't.
I mean,
think of
all time you're gonna have like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff, but
no, I give Philadelphia credit for Edgar Allan Poe. He just went down there to die. His
Oh, okay.
house is in Philly.
well, that's
So-
fair.
It's fair.
So I mean, even though they took the Ravens thing and this and that, I just think he's Philadelphia.
So they should be the Baltimore Jackasses.
Yeah.
or the Dream Sellers, whichever one you want to go with.
That's pretty
Wow,
good.
That's good.
The Baltimore Dream Sellers. Nice.
Wow.
Maybe
No
in
wonder you got that high position,
yeah.
Craig.
maybe in Vince McMahon's league,
Yeah,
the
right.
Baltimore team,
There you go.
the XFL. But yeah, so that was my past weekend.
Jackie and I went to the only Phillies game they lost this weekend. Or this past weekend, yeah. It was good.
You make it sound like it doesn't happen often.
Right.
Before that, they had lost quite a few.
Oh God. But
Way to bring
Oh,
him
you
luck.
know what? Let me
Yeah.
interrupt you real quick. I did want to get to this story.
Oh yeah.
Relates to the Phillies. So I was talking to Jeff Blum, the color analyst guy, and the one thing I wanted to get his point of view on was because most of his career he was kind of a utility player, and a proud one at that. He was, I think he's got a statue of himself outside the Chicago White Sox stadium. I might be wrong about that, but he hit a very big home run for them the year they won the World Series. So he's a hero there. Spent a lot of time with Houston off the bench. Good all-around player. So I wanted to know, with the Phillies, my main gripe with the team is players seem to go in not knowing what their role is on a day-to-day basis. Whether it's a utility guy, an everyday guy, you might not know. For some guys, Carlos Santana, you don't know if you're going to be off the bench, playing third base, first base, Reese Hoskins, first base, outfield. You don't know who the center fielder is going to be. Kingery could be playing one of 3 or 4 positions, and you don't know where you're going to be in the lineup.
Right.
And I thought, there's no way players can get used to that. I mean, maybe you can, but it just seems like eventually it would wear on them. And I asked Blum exactly that. He couldn't be more adamant that I was wrong.
Wow.
That he had no issue at all. Couldn't care less. And it made sense. He said his job was to show up and perform.
Just play baseball.
Wherever I'm at. And then I doubled down and I was like, well, and I'd been drinking that night. And I was like, but Jeff, come on. I have some little league experience. And I know from my personal experience that I didn't do as well on games where I was like, oh man, I'm only going to get one at bat. I got to make the best of this at bat. And I would strike out and be like, shit, I have no opportunity to redeem myself.
Right.
But on games where I had 4, I was like, all right, strike out first. I'm good. I got 3 more opportunities. And then I might go 2 for 4, feel good about myself. I always felt better knowing that I would have more. But he said, nope, you're wrong. And it makes sense. You have to, I've been thinking this whole time, and I mean, who knows? Maybe I could speak to another player and they'll say something else, but he couldn't have been more adamant saying, doesn't matter. You're a professional, you show up, you do your job. Now, that was specifically his job. I do wonder if you got guys with a huge ego, especially now. I mean, he played in a different era, not that long ago, but there's still a big difference. Superstars. Even guys Carlos Santana, not a superstar, but a guy making 20-some plus $1 million a year. Is he going to have a problem getting moved all over the place, up and down the lineup, maybe in, maybe out, never knowing. So who knows, but that did open my eyes about that a little bit. So I might come off Kapler a bit on that.
Did you get any insight on any like free agency talk, anything that you've heard?
No, I mean, and it's such a dick thing to say, but because Spader, like, he's so plugged into stuff. He talks to a lot of guys, and he's extremely loyal to like a lot of players, and he hears so much stuff. So all he kept telling me was like, I know some things about this guy or that guy. There might be some moves here. He'll never get specific. I'm one of his best friends, but he's never going to even tell me. So he'll get into a bunch of guys' stories, and you get to thinking like, oh, shoot, is he going to go here or there? But he'll never tell me. But he knows these things because he talks to these guys. And, he's a Marine, salt of the earth dude, guy you can clearly have a beer with.
Right.
And he had a few last weekend. He had a few. Me and CJ, we've thrown a few back with old Ryan Spader. And he likes to have some fun.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, man, it was great. You go to Baltimore, check it out. Camden Yards, right across the street. They got a pub called Pickles Pub, which is ironically the name of a restaurant my dad used to own, not affiliated, and a place called Sliders where they got dollar beers.
Oh.
I don't know like how it works, but we left the last game of the doubleheader to go watch the Penn State game. Dollar beers, dollar Bud Light cans.
Oh.
That's where everything started to go off the rails.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, it was a fun weekend.
Yeah, we were like I was saying, we went to the Phillies against the Braves. We lost 10-2 that night. But the stadium was half, yeah, like you said, with the Orioles. It was good. We were in the 300 level, like all the way at the top behind home plate, which was dope. I've never sat there before. I've only, at Citizens Bank, I've only sat in left and right field. I've never sat in the infield before at Citizens Bank. So it was like a cool view of the park that I didn't get the other 2 times.
That's what everybody says with shitty seats, though. No, I'm telling you, it's actually really nice up there.
Dude, honestly, I prefer shitty seats. Like if I can see the screen,
that's exactly what they all
cool.
say.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, dude. I'm not paying.
No, that's a really good ballpark.
It's awesome.
But you know what's better than those seats? When you're really, really close.
Oh, I bet. So of course, obviously.
I mean, one or the other. Whether you're really close or really far away. Both good.
I've never been in the price range for a really close seat. So all I really know is the far away views. I dig it. I remember I went to a Sixers game once, and I literally, like, straight up reached behind me and touched the wall of the fucking place. Like
Nice.
it was the last row, the very, 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 very last row. And like, it was my first Sixers game. I thought it was dope, but it was like I couldn't see anybody. It was just specks of people moving around down there. I had no idea who was who. Like when you're up that far, you just look at the screen the whole time. That's all you do. So it's almost like you might as well just stayed home and watch it on your screen in your TV. Like, it's dumb, but it's dope.
I mean, at least you have the luxuries of home.
What Jackie and I ended up doing, though, we literally only stayed at our seats for like the first couple innings, and then we just walked around the rest of the time. There's like nobody there. It felt like, like we went to McFadden's. They're closing. They're done.
They are closing.
So went there, one more time. And we just walked around, checked out the bullpen at the end before we left. And we left by like the 7th, 8th inning. Tried to get out of there. The Sixers let out at the same time. They were playing like some Australian team or something.
How crazy is this? I just looked it up to get the year right. But me and a buddy of mine, when the Sixers were terrible, this was the 2009-10 season, we got courtside seats to the Sixers Knicks.
Wow.
Sixers Knicks. Now
Dude.
imagine getting those seats now, like what they would cost. I forget what we paid. It might have been like $1.25 a piece. We go to the and this is almost 10 years ago, so we're in our like mid 20s, and we're going courtside, so we got to wear suits. I go suit, fedora, like a jackass, like a total jack. We're both wearing suits. Why? What the hell is the point?
Right.
It's so dumb.
You guys were the only ones wearing suits. I bet.
Oh yeah, the only ones wearing suits for sure.
That's hysterical.
But what is the luck was insane. So Allen Iverson ends up coming back that year, and this might be like revisionist history. I would have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he came back mid-season. I'm almost positive he didn't start the season. We got the tickets before we knew Iverson was coming back, and I think I might just be making this story greater in my head. I think it was his first game back.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine his first game back to Philly?
Yeah.
In his last season in Philly against the Knicks, we're sitting courtside, looking like a couple of jackasses in suits,
Right.
courtside, and I'm wearing a fedora that doesn't fit. This was in my chubby phase, so I did not look attractive.
I'm sure so many
Like I do now.
people freeze framed it and have some kind of screenshot of you and your buddy.
It was so bad,
Oh,
but it was cool.
I wish
mean,
I had a copy of that.
This is when you could get courtside seats. Are amazing. It's really neat. A lot of people don't realize they like at the whatever the hell it's called now. Well, I always want to call it the First Union Center. It's killing me.
Wells Fargo?
Wells Fargo. Shoot.
I was gonna say
I
Wachovia.
always go First Union Center. I always go First Union Center. It's
The
insane.
FU
I can't
Center.
get that out of my mind. But they have the Cadillac Grill that's like mid-level up there. But also they had like the Lexus Club, which is down low. It's right near. It's like right down floor level, and it's this cool club. And the prices for beers and food is not that outrageous. It's neat, and you basically walk onto the floor from that club. It's neat. It's like a VIP experience thing. But I mean, now for any game against the Nuggets, you'd spend a shitload of money. So it's a cool experience, but I'll probably never experience it again. Definitely not like that. And I was too damn young and dumb to appreciate it. Now it would be amazing.
I've never courtside. Never courtside.
Would you wear a suit again?
That's the thing. Now I would, kind of ironically, though. I mean, let's be honest. I would wear something by William Murray. By the way, his new fall collection is available. Check
Wow.
it out at williammurray.com. williammurraygolf.com.
They should give
Not
you
a-
some free shit.
Not
for
a sponsor. But
They don't pay us. They don't pay
true
you.
story.
that. Kevin pays them a ton of money.
I spend so much money on a William Murray golf apparel. It's so amazing. I tell people all the time, they think, oh, it's a bunch of goofy golf gear. It is incredible material. And if you want something crazy, they got some wild stuff. And they got some okay, like normal, just plain stuff. But it's all great material. Check it out. WilliamMurrayGolf.com. Boom! And we're back from commercial. Sitting here with Taylor and CJ. So,
man.
anyway, guys.
So you watched that Penn State game? You see that over the weekend?
Yeah, that was... I had to pretend to be a Penn State fan for a little while.
Oh, you were with a bunch of Penn State fans?
Well, yeah, I mean, so the two guys I was with, both Marine, alpha male. Like, I'm an alpha male in Thorndale. These are like alpha males of the world,
Right.
like, which is, they got me beat.
Whole different level.
Yeah, these guys are big time. So they're going on, and they just don't seem to remember that I don't really like college football,
Right.
but they're still asking me about college football, and like, because I'm the sports guy, I guess, and they expect me to know all this stuff. I don't really know anything about college football. I'll hear some stuff on Sports Center. That's it. It's still minor league football to me. But I can, if I'm with people that are I can enjoy a soccer game if I'm with people that I like that are way into it. I can get in it by like osmosis. Like, I'll take their energy. So it was cool. It was fun. They were living and dying with every play, and I was just like, cool.
Right. It was probably because I watched it as well, and I don't like either team. So I'm sure you and I kind of had the same feeling while watching it, which was just that this was straight up good football. Like, it was just, it was entertaining to watch. There was a couple games like that over the weekend, but that was the big story one. I mean, that was the one that came all the way down to it. And Ohio State just...
And again, it's one of my things where it infuriates me with college football. It's all they were saying all night was, if we lose this game, our season is over. Why does that have to be? They were, I think, ranked 9th. They're playing the 4th-ranked team in the country.
Yeah.
Why should that be? First of all, you're supposed to lose that game if you're 9th against a 4. What if that's your only loss all season?
No, I think what
you
they
have
mean...
no chance to crack the top 4. You can't make this phantom playoff.
Oh, no, you probably
deal.
won't. But what they mean by that is...
Ridiculous.
It is, but it isn't. It's like... what they mean by that, though, is that the people who lose that matchup usually don't go on to win the East, the Big Ten East. They're talking about their ability to play for their conference.
And again, but it
is what
all,
I think what they were talking about more.
It
those
all
commentators
stacks up to the expectations are so high for those top 4 teams.
Yeah,
because all that matters is those top 4 teams. So it needs to expand to 8 or 16. They need to do something along those lines. This weird narrative that everyone just says it's about the money. It's about the money. Well, can you explain that? I mean,
well, there's more divisions than people that are allowed in. You know what I mean? Like, more conferences. I mean, that's the stupidest part to me. Like, you have the major ones, the Pac-10, Big Ten, or with Pac-12, whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
SEC, all that shit.
You have the Pac whatever because they keep changing that number.
Those fucking guys should, at least the champion from each one of those should be in, right? I mean,
Champions League soccer.
Champions League,
like
that's
you
what it
said
should
before,
be.
yeah.
Right. That's what it should be.
I mean, people are going to argue, well, the people that graduate are not going to come back. Well, so the soccer teams don't have the same people, but they've won their division the year before.
It'd be the same thing. It'd be the same thing that they're doing now.
I support a Champions League for college football.
It would be the same thing because they're still playing in a bowl game that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Aquafina Bowl, the T-Mobile Shit Yourself Bowl. I don't know. These guys, at least because UCF thinks that they won the championship last year and they weren't even in the playoffs. If you ask anybody down at UCF, they won. They have the longest winning streak in all of college football.
Yeah. They should have been in there.
Yeah, they should have been there.
They should be in the Champions League.
Yeah, straight up. Why not? Just make it like March Madness. Make it a whole month of craziness. Why not?
I think March Madness. I think the Champions League is a better way to go than the March Madness.
Well, when I say March Madness, I just mean
enough
teams, enough games that it makes it a whole month. not like a game, wait 2 weeks, a game, wait 2 weeks, a game. That shit's stupid.
Yeah.
Have it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I'm for
You'd probably get hooked
the
on that.
tournament. Oh, I'd be all for it. I
you'd be
love
all
March
for it.
Madness.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I kind of zoned out there, and I was just like in my own while you guys were talking college sports.
All right.
I was thinking that they should the Pac-10 Player of the Year should be called the Pac-Man, and he should get a fruit basket
How about that? You seen?
and pellets, whatever pellets are.
Have you seen since the Miami Hurricanes did the sack chain or the turnover chain
Yeah.
that all these other teams are doing different shit?
Yeah, they got to stop doing that. It's dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like it.
It was better when it was just one thing.
Didn't they say that chain's fake or something?
All of them are. Oh, it's all dumb.
Well, what does it mean? It's a fake chain.
Well, they're trying to make it look like this diamond studded like wrap chain that everything on it's artificial. So it's not even gold. It's not,
No, yeah, all
that
of
would
it's
be
fake.
like, I'm not using this word correctly, but that would be like a campaign finance violation.
Yeah.
I'm saying at least gold plated.
Right. Where are you getting this money?
They're
What-
spending money on gold chains.
What are you
and stuff.
doing? This is from the Teamsters or whatever. I don't fucking know.
The Alumni Association.
Yeah, the alumni.
Where else does
association.
everything
Yeah,
mysterious come from? Oh, yeah, the alumni's bought it.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Anatomy 101 can't afford frogs.
Those doctors
Teachers
aren't
can't
apparently
afford
good in the Alumni Association donations.
So it's crazy. I don't know. Make it a month long. Make it cool.
Pets' damn heads are falling off.
But that's what they were talking about, Reeve, though. Is like when they said that their season's on the line. It's basically because they don't play each other again this season, and the winner of that game typically goes on to win. If in other words, if like Ohio State obviously loses a couple games and Ohio State or Penn State keeps going, then they might have a better record or a chance to beat or participate in their championship for their thing, the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's just a little boring. We know how it ends. But this little school, did you see what this little school from Alabama is doing? Did you see what the end score of that game was? I think they might have something. Alabama. Remember that name. Alabama. They might. No.
I forget what the score even was of that game.
But they won by like 70.
Oh,
And-
dude, yeah. Let me look because I forget.
You don't do that by accident.
56-14 over Louisiana.
Yeah, the halftime over-under, I was told, was like 30 and a half, and they were up by like 42 at the half.
Good God. Oklahoma beat Baylor 66-33.
I just don't like that the system is all built on running up the score, but then they don't to a certain extent. Because if it was like 42-0 at halftime, which is right around what it was, whatever it was, then they should have won by a lot more. So they pulled back at some point. What's the arbitrary pullback point?
Yeah.
But I mean,
It
like
all depends.
it's sportsmanlike to win 56-5, but not. It would be interesting to have 56-5. That's a dumb score, Kevin. Be smarter than that. 56-7. Let's say 56-7. But it's unsportsmanlike to be 72-7. Ooh, now you're a dick.
Yeah, now you're a dick.
No, it's all dumb.
It's all dumb.
But and that's the thing. The points play into the whole weird way it works. But you want to
I'm
give
okay.
a mercy rule.
You want to smash
It just
people
all adds
get
up to
your shit-
aggravating me.
Because especially if you're an away team. If you're an away team and you're winning like that, you got to get the points because they essentially grade you for playing in a
Hostile
environment. So that's an interesting thing. I don't really think about that very often, but I know that comes into it. Current top 10: Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson. That's your top 4. Same as last year, I believe, and maybe the year before. Anyway, LSU, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Auburn, West Virginia, and Washington round out your top 10. Penn State slid to 11. Meanwhile, UCF is number 12 with the longest undefeated record in college football. Point blank, period.
They're getting robbed.
Robbed. And I don't know. It is what it is. It won't change. Not for now, anyway. We'll see. We're going to take a quick break. When When we come back, we're going to talk about some NFL. We got all new go to the week. And are we doing this, the rapid fire thing again?
Yeah.
We are doing it again? All right.
Yes, we are.
So get hype. We'll be right back. Hey, it's Taylor Cooper.
Co-host Kev.
And I'm co-host Dan. I have to bring something up that's been bugging the shit out of me about your wedding.
What?
You've known me a long time,
Yeah.
all right?
You've known both of us a long time.
Long
You've
time.
known
We're on
Kev
the-
a long time.
Fucking radio show together.
Yeah,
We are your brothers.
correct.
Why the fuck was I in the corner?
Yo,
Both of us.
We
Yo.
were the furthest away from the bar. We were the furthest away from the food. It was like, I'm just going to put you guys in the corner because I don't want to see you.
check out Might Be News on mbnnetwork.com. Also, SoundCloud and iTunes. New episodes every Monday. Welcome back to Might Be Sports. I'm Taylor Cooper with Kevin Reevy and CJ. What up, dudes?
How's it going?
It is so great to be here.
So, let's talk a little bit. Well, you weren't here last week, Kev. So, Gritty. How do you feel about Gritty? New
right.
Flyers mascot.
Gritty, I can't stand an old joke. When a joke, the worst joke is one that's like, where everyone gets involved and it goes stale in like a day and a half. Like when your mom is on Facebook telling a Gritty joke, Gritty is over.
I did see your mom tell a Gritty joke on Facebook.
So I was on the side, like
Did she really?
I was early on like the Gritty jokes thing. I won't even get into mine. I thought mine was a little original. I took a spin on it. Originally, I think when I first heard about it, it was pretty early, and I just retweeted it. Nope, that was it. That was my first quick hit joke. But later on, I played into it a little more. The fact that everyone was saying it's a cross between this and that. It's a cross between this and that. Like, okay, we get it. You're all comedians. Like, all right, it's a cross between something horrific and a person with red hair. Oh, that's hilarious. Everybody had their jokes. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what, screw you. I'm on Team Gritty now.
Wow.
And I'm totally on Team Gritty. He's my boy. A buddy of mine, Adam Cavallini, fellow podcaster. I don't know if he's still doing the podcast game, but he was way, way early. He was doing podcasts 10 years ago plus, I think. He made a great point. He's from Philly, born and bred, lives in Orlando for the past 10 years plus. He made a great point. He said, Philadelphia, they throw Gritty on us, and it's like, no, you don't do that. We got the Fanatic, and that's it. So we shit on Gritty. Then the world starts to jump in, and they start shitting on Gritty, and we're like,
Most Google search
screw
thing
you.
last week.
This is us. This is our guy. You don't get this shit on Gritty. We're taking him back.
Yeah, he's ours now.
Now Gritty's ours. Screw you. You don't get to do that to our guy.
That's literally what happened. That's literally word for word what happened. Like we didn't like him at first. Everybody else starts hating on him, and it's like, wait, that's our guy. So fuck you.
I'm so in. It seemed so dumb at first, and maybe this was an accident. Maybe it was brilliance, but whatever it was, it totally worked. The way they released it, it just worked. It clicked, and you really can't. I don't think you can predict this kind of thing.
No,
but now it works.
Right. And well, one thing that I was saying is that seeing the pictures of Gritty is so much different than seeing Gritty on camera, like on a video, because of his eyes move in and he looks a little bit more fun when he's doing that and dancing and stuff. But like the early pictures, they kind of depicted him as some kind of a little bit of a scary creature, because of the demonic eyes, just, kind of looking right through you kind of deal. And then you see the videos of with him meeting the Fanatic for the first time over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Iconic. And I love that they have the same dance move, but he like turned around and started doing it with his butt kind of deal. Like it was perfect. He was twerking at the Phillies game over the weekend.
I think it was all planned. Like this whole thing was planned, and it was brilliant because if you look up his bio, I'm pretty sure the Flyers admit that he had an abusive father. Like if you read between the lines, it's like, yeah, his dad drank and beat up Gritty on quite a few occasions. There's a reason why his eyes are like that. They're not supposed to be.
He's a trip. I
He
was
got
happy
smacked
with
around when
it
he was
pretty
a kid.
quick after I saw it. I was like, when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke. And then once I realized it wasn't, and I saw the first video of him, I was like, all right, I can dig that. Just because, like, it's a hockey mascot. I don't want it to be like the Fanatic. I don't want him to be cute, cuddly, and totally, just funny. Like,
Well, it's
I want
better
him to
than
be a little
that cheesy
aggressive.
mascot they used to have. The guy with the bomber's jacket on.
I don't even remember.
I'll pull up a photo.
I don't even know. I know Swoop is underrated in Philly. Like Swoop, nobody really mentions Swoop,
Yeah, there's no time for Swoop.
I guess.
He doesn't really do that much.
He
Not
doesn't.
like a Philly fanatic that's out there going around. Swoop's just kind of like a 5-minute thing and then he's out.
Yeah. it's
Swoop,
true.
I think, is more for corporate gigs. Swoop
Yeah.
is there to do. I mean, the Fanatic has a big off season, I would assume as well. But I remember seeing a lot of Swoop activities. You could hire Swoop for a lot of stuff, so I think that's where it comes into play. But there's also hip hop for the Sixers. You remember
Sixers.
hip hop?
Yeah.
He got
That was
fired.
Kind of interesting, but very
Who's
90s,
their
early
mascot
2000s.
now? Do they have one?
I don't think
Isn't
they
it-
have one. They rolled out some prototypes that I don't
They
think
did
worked.
the voting. I thought it was that Ben Franklin thing that won.
That's what it is. I think, yeah. It's like a big, with the Ben Franklin with a big head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wasn't there were other things, right? There was like an elephant or something.
Yeah, he's better than that. Gritty's better than whatever that is, Craig.
Yeah, it's a guy in a bomber jacket with, it looks like Flyers glasses. Like he's literally
Gritty's
a World War II bomber, pretty much.
Gritty's 100 times better than that.
Which, saying it out loud, I realize Flyer, bomber jacket.
I
yeah.
get it, but
Yeah.
Gritty, I don't know. He's awesome. I'm all about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now it's locked in. It works forever. And
Yeah.
it's done. And
We're good,
everyone's immediate opinion was, oh, they screwed up. This is never going to work.
which is hysterical.
No. The joke was on us, and we all fell for it, and now it's part of our culture, it seems. We'll see how it plays over a full season, but I think, it works so well.
The internet is undefeated. The internet wanted Gritty to win.
You can't predict it. You don't know how these things are going to go. You got to throw it out to the masses. Again, we don't know if they're brilliant or they got lucky. Either way, it works.
Oh, we're wrong. It's a dog named Franklin.
Okay. All right. It's a dog named Franklin.
Oh, yeah. A
So the
blue
Ben
dog.
Franklin thing was one of the final things with apparently Frank.
Okay. So, NFL. Fitzmagic is over,
Yeah, thank God.
which means that my fantasy team is over.
Oh, it was just the Fitzmagic stuff. They were literally calling him Fitzmagic on every play, and it's, oh, man, his last game I saw him play, they had like the D team calling it, and they just kept calling him. First of all, the announcing crew, that was who was on it? It was the Cowboys tight end, just retired. He was on that crew. Help me out here.
The Cowboys tight end.
The old Cowboys tight end, just retired.
The hell is his name? I know his name.
I'm bad with names on the spot.
Keep saying Jason Garrett, and that's not it.
Jason
Witten.
Witten. Damn, how was that so difficult?
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, the Jason Witten crew was awful. And they just kept calling him Fitzmagic. It was like a crutch. And I get it because, I'm bad at this microphone stuff and I use crutches all the time with that kind of stuff. But somebody's got to be in their ear saying, chill with the Fitzmagic stuff.
Yeah.
It got so old.
Unless you're selling T-shirts that say Fitzmagic on them.
Right.
But that's something, where the Sixers did well with Gritty. This is it went the other way. This became the bad joke. It just got too old. If you have a Fitzmagic shirt a year from now, that's embarrassing. Like it's already dated. It's already dated and it's week 4. It seems old, tired, played out.
Oh no, I'm making Fitzmagic shirts and I'm putting your roommate's picture on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my roommate of many years, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Which, I mean, he's got a beard. He's about a foot shorter. I don't think they bench the same. I think Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic probably has about 100 pounds on him. That doesn't mean the smaller one can't throw a tight spiral. I've never seen him throw one, therefore I cannot speak to it.
Do you think that anyone in the NFC can stop the Rams right now? They beat the Vikings 38-31 last Thursday.
Yeah, because this always seems to happen every year. I think the Rams are this version of it, and then they get that kind of team always gets derailed. I immediately think of the Chiefs the past few seasons. Maybe a good example to say I'm wrong would be the Eagles last year. They didn't seem to slow down. They just kept going. I have a tough time believing in Jared Goff. I've always had this theory that a quarterback has to be, he just doesn't seem that smart. I think a quarterback has to have smarts, especially now when the margin of error is so small and the quarterbacks are so great. The difference between, a good quarterback, a great quarterback, and being benched in 2 weeks. Fitzpatrick is the perfect example. The savior 1 week, 2 weeks later, now he's benched. So I think you have to be intelligent and have the physical tools. I think Fitzpatrick is incredibly intelligent, doesn't have all the physical tools. So Goff, clearly he's incredibly gifted. I always thought he was this California surfer dude when he was on Hard Knocks. Just said a couple silly things and just always seemed not that intelligent. Carson Wentz, drafted the same year. He always seemed to be the full package. When you compare those two guys with each other, Carson Wentz had it all, and Goff always seemed to be, a little step behind in the psychological department.
Right.
But it might not even matter, and maybe I'm totally wrong, and I'm just going off like California surfer dude stereotypes, because he made every throw last game.
He did.
He looked amazing, and it's kind of silly. So for Thursday Night Football, is that always NFL Network? Does it go on ESPN?
No, now it's on Fox.
Yeah,
It's on
it's Fox too.
I was wondering because the next day it was like a big ESPN headline, like on their ticker thing on one of their shows, where it said Thursday Night Football's back, and I wondered, well, are they saying that because it's on ESPN? I wasn't sure what it was broadcast on.
It's on now. It's on. I think the first couple weeks was NFL Network and Amazon.
Yeah,
They do it on Amazon Prime now too. Thursday Night Football. They stream it.
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to say.
But now it's on Fox. The rest of the year, it's on Fox.
And to say, Thursday Night Football is back, it wasn't ever really here.
Yeah, it's just back on Fox.
But I think the Thursday night game can be great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, that's when my Baltimore trip started, so it was nice to kick it off with that game. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy it. When you have a good matchup, the Thursday night game can be nice. It can work, but too often the teams are terrible. So, it's
going back to the thing about the Rams, I think the Vikings will be the ones to stop the Rams in the postseason, though, when it matters, because they've played them. It was a close game.
But are the Vikings for real? 2 years ago, they were garbage. Was that 1 year an aberration?
I think we're going to find out this weekend when they come to Philly.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, a real big test for both of those teams. How for real are they this year? I'll be there. I can't wait. It's going to be excited. Sitting at the top.
It's so hard to win.
Hand against the wall.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, I would say, and it'd be so weird if the Vikings are the favorites, because it would just set up this underdog story again, because both teams are teetering on the edge.
What did you think about Carson Wentz's performance on Sunday? Personally, I think Carson Wentz was pretty much the only bright spot on the team. That's how I feel.
I was watching the game with CJ, and I think I said to him at certain points, he's been perfect. I mean, at times just absolutely perfect. And I mean, I can't think of any point from, I listened to the game on the radio for the first quarter, so I couldn't see it with my own eyes, but from the second quarter on, he was perfect. Every throw, didn't really, the mistakes he made were because mistakes were being made on the offensive line.
Right.
So, other than that, he's at the top of his game.
Yeah, he looked really good to me.
He's back.
The drop passes, the penalties killed it. I'll tell you what, Jay Ajayi had a nice game too, but 2 of his big plays got pulled back for holding calls. I mean, he had a pretty nice looking, he had a nice game. I don't think that Jay Ajayi is our answer at running back because he's not healthy. He's not going to be healthy. It's just the way it is. But I don't know. I think that the Eagles have a lot of work to do. That was a tough game. It was a tough game to watch. I wanted to ask you about something else. We touched on the end of Fitzmagic. I wanted to ask you about your opinions on the Chicago Bears. They seem like they're on the right track right now. Their defense is kicking ass. Khalil Mack's having a great season. Mitch Trubisky went 19 for 26, 354 yards, and 6 touchdowns against Tampa Bay this weekend. I've been making fun of Mitch Trubisky ever since I heard his name for the first time.
Yeah, it was one of those weird things. It seemed like when he was drafted, it was a stretch. They really needed a quarterback, and they took him really early. And there was that was a weird quarterback year because I remember there were a few guys going in the first or second round, and not much came of most of them. So, yeah, he got caught in the middle of that. He gets mixed up, especially in years like, last year we had, and again, I'm blanking on his name, the Houston Texans quarterback. Help me out.
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson. We're seeing quarterbacks break out all over the place. You got Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson. This year, I think you're going to see Mayfield have a great year. You got Sam Darnold. You kind of forget about Mitch Trubisky, but there's things you got to look at. I think you got to worry about kind of like the Prescott factor, and I like to shit on Dak Prescott whenever I can. But you look for guys, and Dak in some ways was like this, but more he kind of became this. Are they taking over the game, or are they having the game highlight what they do best? I think Dak, he had a great team around him with Dallas at that point in time. Great running back to back him up. And I wonder if it was his talent, if he was really leading that team, or it was kind of a culmination and it was highlighting what he did best. Because now, as he shoulders more of a load, we were talking about earlier today, me and CJ, he had 255 passing yards and 2 touchdowns on Sunday. And that was only the second time in 26 games, in his last 26 games, that he's had 255 or more passing yards and 2 touchdowns. So, and you think about that, 255, 2 touchdowns. That's not asking much. It's not huge numbers. I mean, shoot, Mitch Trubisky just did 354 and 6. So, I don't know. You got to wonder, when you compare, you just got to ask, is he leading the team? Is he the reason? Or is the team highlighting what he does best? And you got to wait and see with Trubisky, because he's got a lot of 200-yard passing games, 1 touchdown, 0 touchdowns. He's just going with the flow. When he starts taking over games, like Carson Wentz, like Jared Goff is doing now, that's when all right, this guy's for real. He's legit. So it's a wait and see, because you never know until... Carson Wentz had a million of these games last year where he was Houdini. He just pulled plays out of his ass, and you knew, all right, that's an MVP. Is Mitch Trubisky that? We got to wait. We got to wait and see. It's going to take a long time, and the Bears could lose the next 6 games, and none of us would be surprised.
Right. It's true.
It's true, Bisky.
One more game that I want to talk about, and then we're going to do this rapid fire thing. You ready for that, Craig?
I'm ready.
One more game that I want to talk about. So the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders put up a combined 87 points this weekend in the 45-42 win in overtime for Oakland, right? Derek Carr, 4 touchdowns, Baker Mayfield, 2 TDs, both quarterbacks with 2 picks. Okay, this kid, Nick Chubb, ran 3 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's killing it.
It's crazy. I had just dropped him on my fantasy team. He was projected for a point and a half.
Whoops.
I'm in one of those leagues where we have 2 guys on the bench. So Adrian Peterson was out, and I'm like, well, come on. I can't play Nick Chubb. It's kind of funny.
That's kind of funny.
I don't get like heartbroken over that kind of stuff. Like, oh, what could have been? You're never going to start a guy that's projected to get a point and a half. You're never going to do it. If you're never going to
never
it,
do it. Yeah.
then
Unless you live in
you
Cleveland.
can't get pissed about it.
Yeah. The Raiders put up 21 points in the fourth quarter to push it to overtime. That was pretty crazy. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Now Oakland's 1-3, Cleveland's 1-2-1. So anyway.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking this up right now just to see if there's anything to it. I'm looking up Mitch Trubisky's career games. So yeah, you're seeing a lot, and he's got just over a year under his belt. So his 354 passing yards were the highest of his career. He only had one other game. He's played 16 total games in his career. He's only had 2 over 300 yards. He's got a ton of games under 200. He's only had 2 games so far in his career where he's thrown more than 1 touchdown pass. So we're way too soon to be like, he's going to be one of the great ones.
Oh yeah, no, they just been playing good football so far this season. I mean, definitely more so on the defense. And I think you were talking about leadership. That's where they're probably getting a lot of that energy from right now. Is that defense? They're killing it for my fantasy squad.
Who would have thought one guy would make such a difference? Khalil Mack.
Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts. It made John Gruden look like a complete idiot before the season even started. Right? I mean, season didn't even start.
Yeah,
here's my team. Bye.
At the end, you can knock him for it, but at the time, it looked like a great deal. But if
we'll see what they do with those.
Hindsight matters. Hindsight,
yeah.
It can win you championships. You have to know what you have.
We'll see what those picks do. So, Craig, let's do this rapid fire thing. We got about 10 minutes.
So the rules are.
We still got to do go to the week.
All right.
Do you have a go to the week?
I'll think of one. You always have one prepared. I
do.
pull one out of my ass, and it's always terrible. But let's go through the rules of this rapid fire.
All right. So CJ reads a headline. You and I, which we didn't do very well last time, we have to just say one line about it, basically.
Well, you could say whatever about it, but I was figuring there would be more conversation, so I only actually read 5 stories for last time. Now I read like 10. So
right.
But I think I have some good ones that are going to actually go a little longer.
Okay.
All right. So first one, RZA defends NFL over Maroon 5 pick. Adam Levine is dope.
Adam Levine is pretty dope, I guess. And Riz is definitely dope. So
I figured you would go with that since he co-signed on it.
I double co-sign.
What's a RZA?
Well,
RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, I don't know that clan.
So Taylor's cutting your mic off. Tiger Woods wins first pro golf tournament since 2013.
Good for Tiger Woods. Great
so
for golf.
Happy.
Great for golf.
I was wearing my Tiger Woods shirt today. I'm a big Tiger Woods fan. I've defended him for a while. It's when people like hate on Tiger Woods, like, well, he cheated on his wife, and it's like, well, so does everybody else in America. Like, it's cheating on your wife. It happens a lot. The people complaining about what Tiger did, they probably did the same. Like, we're surrounded by assholes in this country. Like, just some happen to play professional golf. Like, it's okay. They don't have to, nobody is who they seem.
I will never forget forever seeing Tiger Woods win the Masters for the first time. Like, that was incredible.
Awesome. I remember seeing the I Am Tiger Woods commercial, and I love this. I'm seeing the I Am Tiger Woods commercial being like, who the fuck is Tiger Woods? And you could never say that again in your life.
Ever.
I was like 13. Crazy. All right, next.
All right. LeBron James. I didn't join the Lakers to be closer to Hollywood.
Yeah, right.
It's a complete lie because he's paying for part of that Space Jam
You're in
2
Space
movie.
Jam just to make yourself better than Michael Jordan.
Well, you're paying for part of it too. Michael Jordan didn't pay for the first one.
Yeah. No, I don't co-sign anything LeBron does.
I think they could have made Space Jam in Cleveland.
I think they could have just done it without LeBron. Straight up.
I don't know. He's pretty powerful.
I guess, but god damn it.
Who are they going to do with Lonzo Ball?
Now I can't say.
Oh, I would so much rather watch Space Jam with Lonzo Ball.
My
That'd be so
only line, my
amazing.
only argument for LeBron being worse than Michael Jordan was that he didn't save the universe from the Monstars. So, and now he's getting ready to. So it's, we'll see what happens.
All right. Tommy Lasorda, I'm 91 years old. Here's my secret. So what do you think his secret is?
Who is this?
Tommy Lasorda, he was the Dodgers coach.
Oh, okay.
He used to own the bar right down the street.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what he would say. What's his secret?
His secret is he makes a wish when he blows out the candle, but you're not supposed to tell anyone what your wish is when you blow out the candles.
What kind of story is this?
Someone asked Tommy Lasorda, like, he's 91 years old.
So
What's his
TMZ.
secret?
Oh, they asked him after he blew out the candles.
No. They asked him outside of the party what his secret is to be 91 years old. And he said he makes a wish every year when he blows out the candles.
I see. Eternal life.
Everson Griffin escaped from ambulance before mental health evaluation. He was claiming people were after him, going to shoot him.
Who's Everson Griffin? I don't know who that is.
He plays for the Ravens.
And what happened?
He apparently got 302. They said he was insane. So he got picked up and they tried to take him to a mental hospital for an evaluation. And he escaped because he thinks people were after him, going to shoot him. He's since apologized for the whole incident, but he did escape from the ambulance.
That is routine concussion protocol. He's not going to be playing this week.
CTE.
But it is day to day.
Michael Rappaport sues Barstool Sports. I don't have herpes.
I listened to Mike Rappaport, and I disagree. It looks like you have herpes. It's okay. People have herpes. It's okay. I love your podcast. I don't listen to anything on Barstool Sports. It's not because they dissed you or whatever happened between them, but I enjoyed the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast. There it is.
Plus, like, famous herpes is the best herpes to have. Like, the worst thing you could be is, like, broke, not famous at all, nobody likes me herpes.
Right.
Because then, like, things are really not going well for you. At least you're famous, everybody loves you, and I got some herpes.
I don't know. I think
Fuck it.
hopefully he
my mom
sues
is not going to like this part.
Hopefully he sues
not gonna like
Barstool
this
Sports and they
segment.
just go away since they really don't do anything productive.
Yeah, I never really followed any of their stuff.
I mean, their big thing is
The pizza reviews I see all these people talk about.
yeah, but they only hire people that will work for them for free for some swag. So, it just brings the whole thing down.
Next.
Heisman Trophy hits auction block, could fetch $400,000.
Oh, we have to guess whose.
I do know whose.
$400,000. Whose Heisman Trophy? Who needs the money?
Don't believe they might not
Reggie
be alive
Bush.
anymore.
Oh,
Oh, you see, it's going to go back too far.
yeah. I don't know.
1937 trophy, which was won by Clint Frank from Yale.
Clint Frank.
Would have never guessed.
Oh, the great Clint Frank.
But for the same
He did all that great stuff.
for the same appraisal price, Joe DiMaggio signed World Series jersey expected to sell for $400,000 also. So which one would you rather have?
Well,
Probably Joe DiMaggio.
it's all about scarcity with everything. Like, that's where you learn. It's not about a lot of times how cool it is. Like, you need a fan base and everything, but it's all about the scarcity of the thing. So, like, the Heisman Trophy, it almost doesn't matter who it belonged to. There's one every year, and they very rarely go out to auction because they're not given away. Like, they're not sold. It's one of the most important trophies in sports. So I could see that.
All right.
Last one.
I need two more.
You need two more.
Yeah.
More.
All right. T.O. says if Des Bryant doesn't play this year, his career's over.
He would know.
I agree.
And this one Kevin can relate to. Dolphins fan suffers gruesome toe injury, and freak stadium accident. So
I've been there.
So Kevin every year hurts his toe St. Patrick's Day at a bar, usually jitters on their little step going into the bathroom.
March Madness. It's always March Madness Thursday. Yeah, I wear sandals a lot. I wear sandals all the time. And
Well, this guy had an even worse accident. Part of the marble bar fell straight down and landed on his toe.
Wow.
so where
He's getting paid.
He is getting paid.
Paid.
me and CJ were talking about, topics for maybe an upcoming Novak and Franz show that you guys might do. And I was talking about, Adam Carolla has this theory that, the astronauts in space, they come up with creative ways for them to work out because they're in a zero gravity environment. They don't want their muscles to atrophy. There's no resistance. That's his theory for life. Like you need resistance. So that being said, I lost my train of thought entirely. What were we talking about?
The toe.
The toe. Yes. So no, this is all going to make sense. Stick with me.
All right, I'm listening.
All right. So zero gravity environment. You need resistance, right? Here's my thing. The reason why I wear sandals all the time is because whenever I put on shoes, my feet sweat ridiculously. I hate wearing shoes. They sweat all of the time. My problem is I got too damn comfortable. I'm putting on the sandals. My sweat glands atrophied. And now they're used to being out in the summer air, just flailing about, walking barefoot on my kitchen floor, just having a good old time. They don't want to be in shoes. They're free to fly, to soar. When I try to put them back in shoes, they don't want to be in shoes. They want to be free. But in a civilized society, you got to wear shoes. So it's on me. When I stub my toe, it's my fault. I blame myself. And I got to start putting those shoes back on. I got to retrain my dogs.
You got to.
It took a long time to get there. And I lost my way,
Go to the week.
but I got back.
Greatest of all time
Of the week.
of the week. So mine, Adam Vinatieri. Kicked his 567th field goal this weekend, which puts him above Morton Anderson for the most field goals made by a kicker ever. He's played on two teams. For reference, Sebastian Janikowski. I don't even remember where he's playing now. Is he on the? I think he's on the Bucks right now. I don't know, but he's still playing. He only has 419. Only 409, but he has 419. He's 10th on this list. The next guy back, number 3, Gary Anderson, has 538. It's pretty interesting stuff. Adam Vinatieri.
He doesn't miss.
He's won Super Bowls basically almost on his own. He went from New England to Indianapolis, basically two rival teams at the time. And I mean, he hasn't really done much there, but he's been kicking a shit ton of field goals apparently. So it's pretty nuts. He's been playing from 96 to he's still playing. 567 field goals. Adam Vinatieri is the GOAT of the week for me.
Impressive. Yeah, I'm going to stick with football, and we talked about him. Jared Goff. I think this past week, is when he put himself in that next level category, cemented himself. Now the expectations are on him to be one of the greats in the game currently. He's there. He earned it. He's winning games by himself now. He's got a lot of talent, but you look at these throws, and they're in tight spots. He's hitting bombs, short passes, mid-level passes. Everything is on point. He's at the top of his game. I didn't think he was going to get there. And these are the guys we're going to be talking about, like we were talking about Brady, Manning, Breeze, Roethlisberger. Goff is there. Wentz, if he can stay healthy. And now we're waiting on two more. Who's going to be the next two? But Goff, I think he's there. He's the young stud. It shocks me, but cool.
Yeah.
This is going to be a nice rivalry, him and Wentz. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a goat of the week, Craig? You don't have to if you do.
Oh, well, I'll just throw out Eric Reed since that's what I'm reading about right now.
Eric Reed,
He just got signed to,
Carolina Panthers,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
and he's been doing all that work with Colin Kaepernick. They were just handing out backpacks for loaded with all sorts of school supplies for school children up in New York when he found out that the Panthers wanted him. And he's still considering kneeling for the national anthem.
Wow.
As he did a press conference, his first press conference, with a shirt that says, "I am with Cap."
Yep, I did see that. Very interesting. Great job tonight, guys. We'll be back next week with more sports. It's football season. I love football season. I'm so hyped. I'll tell you all about my experience in the top row of the Eagles-Vikings game, all that good stuff.
You
next
know what?
week.
That's the best place to watch the game, though,
It is.
in my opinion.
It is.
There you go.
I love it. Reevy, thanks for being here. CJ, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. See you guys next week.